Hello, welcome back to Inkymakes. My name is Ruth, aka Inky. This video today is just going to be a sort of sculpt along rather than a draw along or paint along with me video, where I'm putting the handles on some of the things that I've thrown recently on the wheel. Yeah, and just adding little decorative flourishes to it. And I thought it would be nice for people to just see the process of me working with clay. So yeah, that's about it. I know it's short and sweet this time. Richard's probably going to put some music over it to make it a bit more interesting. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to know what you all think. If you like my videos, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like my videos, because it really helps, because I want to keep doing more of this. So yeah, bye for now.
Dale. Oh. Let's go.
So I'm just trying to figure out how big these handles have got to be. It's really trial and error. I've just realised you can see a really dweeby picture of me in the background as when I was a kid. So yeah, great. I'm wearing one of my necklaces as well that I made, and you can find different pieces of my work and my jewellery like on my website, www.inkymakes.com, and I'm very proud of that website because it's not the best website by any means, but I'm not really good with stuff like this. Richard helps me a lot with my editing and stuff of these videos because I'm just not technologically minded, as I've probably mentioned before. I much prefer like making things with my hands. Digital stuff is just beyond me. So yeah. I'm quite happy with the size of these handles. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like I have like favourite mugs, and I like, it's the feel of them. Like, I think since working at Denby, like I've become a bit of a pottery snob. So whenever I pick up like, and this sounds really snobby, but like if I pick up like a cheap mug, I instantly start like looking at how it's been made and like how it feels in my hands, and I think that's like the beauty of pottery. It's something to be held and picked up and yeah, not just looked at. So I like to add little flourishes. If I was to do these mugs again, I would not have put the snails on the side like this because I'm really worried that they're going to get knocked off. But hopefully, like, whoever ends up getting it, buying it, they'll take care of it. So hopefully that won't happen. But like with the glaze and everything on it, that they are pretty tough. It's just anything where it's like something jutting out, I don't think I would do that again. Often, like, I've been doing I'm preparing for another market now at the Baltic, in Gateshead, and that's an art gallery for those of you who don't know what the Baltic is, but it used to be an old flour mill, and it's been transformed into a contemporary art space. I've done another lot of throwing and making pots and adding like handles and what have you to make them into mugs, but it's really made me realise that like I don't know how sustainable this is. Like it's made me think about the process more. So I think I'm gonna, with time, I'm hoping I'll just get more used to doing more produce, producing more products, because I don't want to be like mass producing, but at the same time I want to be making enough to make a living, and at the minute I'm not really there yet. I'm just having a lot of fun, which is great, but we'll see. I'm really thinking about different designs and stuff, and maybe looking into decals. There's a good place called Digital Ceramics, and they do quite a lot of decal production for big firms, but you can also order your own from there, just like a little hobbyist type thing. And like I would recommend, because I think they do like just a set size, like A3, something like that. If you like create as many little pieces and fit as many of your designs on one sheet, then it makes it a bit more cost effective. I don't know why it always comes back to cost, like when I'm making ceramics. I think that's like, you know, obviously a big history behind ceramics, like making bottles and stuff like that before glass bottles were popular. I think it was quite normal to think about how much things cost to make. And I don't know as well, it's like, I don't think as makers we should be afraid of making things that are going to cost a little bit more to buy, because you want something to be sustainable. Like I would love to think that people would buy one of my mugs or my plates, etc., and keep it like forever. Like that is the ideal. And I think it's like with being really early on in my journey as a ceramist, like it's I'm constantly improving and stuff, and I don't know, like I feel like, I don't know, am I not really giving the same sort of worth to my earlier pieces, I'm not that far along, these kinds of pieces. It's like, I don't want to like, I don't know, dumb them down or anything, but it's certainly something that I think about, because I just want to keep getting better and better. So any of yous that like follow me on Instagram, that you'll see that unsurprisingly I've been inspired by nature, and I say unsurprisingly because I think loads of artists and everything are obviously inspired by nature. But there's this theme of like bees, and I don't know if it's just a summer thing, but like strawberries as well. That obsession with strawberries just hasn't left me for the last few years, so there's that as well, kind of finding its way into my work. And you'll see in the next bit of the video some of the more recent things I've thrown, and like the designs have changed a little bit. And I've also started making things out of earthenware clay as well, on recommendation from my ceramics teacher, and I'll definitely big shout out to Donna Grant for that, because it's so white, this like white earthenware that I'm using. Like you think, oh well, yeah, it's white, it's in the description, Ruth, of course it's white, but I was just so surprised at how white it was. It's like even when it's just drying out, it's bone white. So it should hopefully, I haven't fired these pieces yet, because that's reactive glazes that you'll see on those pieces, but at the minute they just look blank sort of thing. But hopefully the idea is that the underglazes that I'm using, the Amico velvet underglazes are going to show up a lot better, because I find that when you fire them to stoneware temperatures, which is like cone 6, that's more of a mid-fire range, I believe, it does sort of change the tones a bit, like the depth of the colours. Like some of them are just absolutely amazing, which I think again I might have mentioned on another video, but like the red, the bright red, is just a favourite of mine. It's just, yeah, it does what it says on the tin. It's bright red, it's really good, I would recommend it. And I really like the velvet underglazes, because they're just, I think they're more interesting. Like I think with ceramics, a lot of people associate that maybe with like a gloss, like a glass, shiny glass like glaze on the outside, but I do like the effect of the matte ones, so I'm sort of mixing it up doing that. But yeah, so that's what you'll see in the next part of the video, me in the garage showing off my more recent stuff. Unfortunately, some of those colours didn't come out the way I wanted to, but that is all part of the joy of having your own kiln and experimenting with different glazes and seeing how it all comes out. So yeah, like there's some, I think it's Amico, oh god, I can't remember what they're called now. Celadon? Have I made that up? Anyway, it's just like a translucent, shiny, glass-like glaze that's got a hint of colour in it. And like on some of my bowls and that, you'll see the tops where they're blue. Well, they come out at stoneware, like I say, at cone 6, that almost completely burns out that colour. So I should really probably try and see what they're like on earthenware clay. I mean, I'm still really happy with the way they came out, because there was no bubbles or sort of bubbliness at all in the glaze. It actually fired beautifully. It just didn't have any of that blue. Well, it had an absolute minute amount of blue colour in it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to experiment more with that one. We'll see how it goes in future videos. You'll see I'll probably do lots more disastrous things than that, but we'll see.
Hello.
Welcome to my ceramic studio. It's a mess and it's in the garage, so it looks like a jumble sale. But these are some things I've been working on at the moment. These are just drying out. Some little hooses. Hopefully that's not going to prod people in the face when they drink out of it. We'll see. Got a little idea for these as well, but I'll post that up once they're finished. They need firing and glazing. These are some earthenware pieces that are drying out, which I'm really impressed with. The white earthenware clay. I was really surprised just how pale. They haven't even been fired yet and they're like almost white. So I'm happy with that. These are earthenware, but I've glazed them. It's got like a reactive glaze on there, like a speckle glaze. God knows what they're going to come out like. But that's how white it is, I think, inside. That earthenware, once it's fired, it's bone white. Some stoneware stuff that needs firing. It's all glazed up, ready to go. lots and lots of glazes. What else do you want to know? We'll talk about my glazes a bit. So I've got a bit of a glaze problem. Richard laughs at me at this because he catches me many a time just on the internet and he's like, "You're looking at glazes again, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So this is just a small fraction of what I've got, but I'm really impressed with this brand. Bats. They're really good. I haven't used the clear crackle yet, but I'm going to test them out on some of these little... These are bits of stoneware, like from a pot that went completely wrong, so I just chopped it up, fired it, and then I'll dip them in some glaze. And that's pretty good for testing out stuff like that, instead of just wasting it. So we'll see how they look. Because I want to combine some different things and see how they react to each other. This is Mako Stroke and Coat. I haven't actually used these yet, like fired them yet, I mean. I have painted them on the background on this one, so we'll see how that turns out, but that should be a bit of a darker green when it's fired. So yeah, always trying new glazes, experiment, and that's the fun thing about ceramics. I think it's like cooking, I suppose. It's fun, I like it, and I haven't had any major like mistakes or anything yet, so we'll see. Got everything crossed because I'm not really confident about these yet. Never used a reactive glaze like that. I'm definitely going to be putting a bisqueware firing in soon because I've just been on the wheel a lot. This is my wheel here. Just kind of shoved into the corner. But that's all you really need. I was in the shed before and that was awful because the shed's floor was like this and it was like freezing cold in the winter, and now that the weather's heating up I'm like cooking in there, so Richard helped me to move all my stuff into here. But yeah, I've been on that a lot, so I've got a lot of stuff that needs firing. I'm just letting them dry out at the minute, and you can kind of see at different stages, like these were turned on the wheel today. Was it today? God, I'm losing track of time. Today, and I put the handles on because the weather's so warm, they're just drying out so fast. And it gets to a point where it'll be too dry to attach all these little bits and pieces, so I had to get that done. And then you can kind of see, like these ones at the back are the older pieces and they're like pretty much bone dry now. So maybe a couple of more days, the weather the way it is, it'll be going in the kiln. Calcifer, I'll be going in calcifer. And that's a rotor, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to be doing some art markets soon. One at the Baltic. They call it a car boot. It's not really a car boot, it's an art market. But I'm going to be selling all of this stuff, hopefully. If it doesn't all just go horribly wrong, I'll be selling this there, and that's on July 15th on a Saturday. I think it's 11 till 3 or 4, something like that. And I'm hoping to do a stall at Tynemouth Market because me and Richard checked that out and it looked really good, so hopefully that'll be like the end of August. He agrees, it was really good. And yeah, so hopefully the weather's going to be good. It's going to continue being good for those because I don't really want to get soaked. This is just me saying bye for now. Thank you for watching all the way through if you have. Hopefully if you're in the northeast area, if you can, come down to the Baltic on the 15th. I've mentioned it a few times now. It would be lovely to meet some people in real life who have seen my work online. So yeah, until the next one, bye!